Today we're taking a look at the Mississippi gubernatorial election. Incumbent Republican Tate Reeves is facing off against Brandon Presley, a member of the state's Public Service Commission and second cousin of Elvis Presley. The first thing I'll mention about this race is that since 1980, incumbent governors have about an 80% reelection rate. It is very difficult to unseat incumbents. Tate Reeves was elected governor in 2019, defeating Democratic Attorney General Jim Hood by about 5%. That margin was a lot closer than previous gubernatorial elections, and I think some of that has to do with how strong of a candidate Jim Hood was. Hood was the only Democrat in Mississippi who was elected to statewide office from 2008 to 2020. Still, Reeves underperforming Trump's 2016 margin by 17 points is definitely a red flag. Another red flag for Reeves is his very low approval rating. He is currently the least popular Republican governor in the country with a net -6 approval rating. Reeves has been linked to the Mississippi welfare scandal, and Presley is already running ads attacking Reeves on the issue. Let's talk a little more about Presley. He describes himself as a populist, FDR, Billy McCoy Democrat. As mentioned earlier, Presley is a member of Mississippi's Public Service Commission, representing the Northern District. This district does have a conservative lean, and if Presley is able to chip away at Tate Reeves' margins, particularly in the northeast Mississippi counties, perhaps he could find a path to victory. But current polling suggests Presley's path to victory will be quite uphill. We have a handful of recent polls. On Message shows Reeves up by 17. That's an internal poll, ignore it. Impact Research has Reeves only up by 3. That's a Presley internal poll, you can ignore that one too. But there are two polls that I'm interested in. The first is from Siena College, the second is from Mason-Dixon Polling. They're both very reliable pollsters. Keep in mind these polls were conducted several months ago and may not reflect the state of the race today, but Siena has Reeves up 11 and Mason-Dixon has Reeves up by 7. Average them out, we get a lead of Reeves plus 9, which is actually pretty close to the average of the two internal polls we have. And I think that's a fairly accurate estimation of the race right now. Election forecasters have it likely Republican or safe Republican, and I tend to agree. Reeves is an incumbent Republican governor, albeit an unpopular one, in a deep red state. He leads in the polls, and he holds a pretty significant fundraising advantage. Reeves currently has more than $9 million in the bank, while Presley has less than $2 million cash on hand. That being said, Presley did outraise Reeves in July, and he'll receive another $750,000 from the Democratic Governors Association. But at this point, I don't see it being enough to put Presley over the edge right now. I think Reeves is reelected by a margin of 5 to 10 points. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, as I'll be doing a follow-up video closer to Election Day. And there are two other important gubernatorial elections in 2023, one of which takes place in Kentucky. Check out my next video to see if Democrat Andy Beshear can hang on to his seat in deep red Kentucky.